The dark web. It's kind of like, this whole mysterious thing, right? This digital underbelly where, like, anything goes. Secret, anonymous. Kind of like that forbidden fruit of the internet.
Yeah, there's definitely that mystique.
But here's the thing. What happens when those supposed walls of anonymity, those layers of secrecy, are peeled back?
Well, I think this recent case kind of highlights that, doesn't it?
Exactly. That's what we're diving into today. This whole takedown of Bohemia and Cannabia.
They big players.
The biggest, actually.
Yeah.
They're calling them the largest and, get this, longest-running dark web marketplaces in history.
Yeah.
And the sheer scale of it. I mean, we're talking 67,000 transactions happening every single month.
Wow.
Every single. This wasn't some tiny operation tucked away in a digital corner. This was a full-blown, bustling online underworld. So help us understand, what made Bohemia and Cannabia so well successful?
So, in a way, they represent this this inherent contradiction, this double-edged sword of the dark web. On one hand, you have this network that seems impenetrable. You've got the Onion router, Tor, bouncing communication all over the globe, making users really hard to trace. And that anonymity, right? That's the draw. It allows people to engage in activities they wouldn't even think about on the Claret.
Makes sense. So it gives them that sense of security, that freedom.
Exactly. But this case, it exposes the vulnerability, even in these hidden corners of the internet.
Especially when you consider the sheer amount of money involved. We're talking 12 million euros in 1 month.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros.
That's not just a few shady deals. This is a well-oiled criminal machine.
Absolutely. And the fact that the people running it, they pulled off this exit scam, just vanished with the money, that speaks volumes.
They knew, didn't they? They knew the walls were closing in.
Oh, almost certainly. They chose to disappear rather than face the music. But that just highlights another risk for the everyday user. They're not in the loop. They might not see the takedown coming.
It's also a stark reminder that cybercrime knows no borders. This bust involved cooperation between, get this, the Netherlands, Ireland, the UK, and even the US.
Absolutely. A truly global effort. And I think that's the bigger takeaway here. It's not just about the collaboration. It's the evolving capabilities of law enforcement. We're talking about increasingly sophisticated techniques to infiltrate these networks, to track users, and ultimately dismantle these marketplaces. The message is clear. The dark web may seem anonymous, but it's not impenetrable.
It makes you wonder, even for the average person just browsing the web, if the dark web with all its layers, all its supposed anonymity can be compromised, what does that mean for our everyday online privacy?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And while Bohemia and Cannabia might be gone, it would be naive to think this is the end of dark web marketplaces.
So true.
It's this endless game of cat and mouse. New platforms will emerge as quickly as others get shut down.
So where does that leave us? Do you think technology will ever evolve to the point where true online anonymity is just impossible, or will there always be new ways to operate in the shadows?
It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? On the one hand, we're seeing these huge advancements in surveillance, tracking technologies, but at the same time, you've got people constantly developing new tools, new strategies, always trying to stay one step ahead.
A digital arms race.
Exactly.
This whole bust, it really drives home a point, doesn't it? The dark web, for all its mystique, for as anonymous as it seems, it's not above the law. And as technology keeps advancing, one thing's for sure, the pursuit of anonymity and the fight to maintain it, well, that's only going to get more intense.